What is up? What is up? What is up? Everyone, everyone, everyone. It is another day and another time and another week for your favorite Friday morning show, which is a Word from the Rev podcast. Look, y'all, look. This whole month, until further notice, our topic has been Kingdom Boss. And when I tell you all, every young woman that has been on this podcast so far has been a Kingdom Boss. And we're not stopping any further on tonight. On this morning, we have a podcast producer, an author, a writer, a minister, a wife, a podcaster. So many things that she does. And she is straight up boss. And I'm talking about none other than my good friend, Miss Cena Johnson. And you all, at this time, we're going to play a little bit of the theme song. And then after that, we're going to get right started with the podcast for tonight. And what I want you to do as a podcast, as the theme song is playing, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to like, share, and tag, let somebody and let everybody know that Away from the Web is on. And if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, what you waiting on? Come on, subscribe over there. And then go over there to the Apple Podcast and every other podcast station and rate us, like us, and let us know what you think about our podcast. Let's go. And I know I messed up your name. It is Miss Cerise Johnson. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. How are you doing?
I'm blessed by the best.
Amen to
Blessed
that.
by
Amen to that. So we're gonna go on to get this podcast started on today. So first question I'm gonna ask you: when I say Kingdom Boss, what comes to your mind? What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Okay, Kingdom Boss is someone that is in control. Control as far as letting God lead them first. God has lead first. And we are not led by our emotions. They are led by having a relationship with God first. And God gives us instructions, visions, and that is how we lead in the kingdom when we be obedient to what God is asking us to do in the vision that He has anointed us with, and we take the instructions and run with it. You know, that's what boss means. We take the instructions God give us, and we run with what He gives us.
Amen to that. I like that. I like that. When we take the instructions that God gives us and we run with it, we take our orders from the master. That's basically a kingdom boss right there.
Mm-hmm.
So my next question to you is: how did you get started podcasting?
Well, I got introduced podcasting was where God had given me a vision for that. God gave me a vision for that, and I got interested in podcasting due to the fact that I wanted to reach more people. I wanted to reach more people. I'm already on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, fan base, all the apps. I try to be on the Instagram, things like that. But God laid it in my spirit. I need to spread the word, and really, that's what really started the podcast. Was I have a segment called Daily Devotionals, and I read. I've started from the beginning of the Bible, from the book of Genesis, and now I'm up into First Chronicles, chapter 6. And I read a chapter a day for the daily devotional. It's called Daily Devotional, and I just put that on my podcast. So it started off with that, and then I said, hey, maybe I could take my videos and put them on the podcast too. So I just, that's how God does us. He always giving us something. He's not gonna give us more than we can bear. So I
Mm-mm.
started doing that, putting those my morning word and worship, Let's Talk Sunday, Entrepreneur Corners, Authors Extra Sunday on the podcast, along with the daily devotional. And my podcast is entitled Sharice Johnson Moore's Podcast.
I like that. I like that. So, next question: what is 3 reasons why you love podcasting?
I get to meet new people. I get to meet
Right.
new people because let's see. When I first, I was thinking, okay, well, okay, I'll go ahead and do this podcast. Okay, I've come to love it because it has given me a reach beyond the United States. It has given
Mm-hmm.
me to Namibia, Australia, Zimbabwe, Switzerland, Austria, Italy, Germany, France, so many, like it's like almost 40 countries my podcast can be heard in. So, and I like the people I meet because they're, I like the different nationalities and all the people I get to meet and read my comments and things like that. And and it is it is a way that I know I'm doing my assignment right.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's a sign when you see that your podcast is reaching all these people. I said, okay, I'm doing, I'm doing
I'm
something,
doing something right.
doing right. Yeah. hmm
I like that. I like that. All right. So, next question: how did you get started producing podcasts?
Well, I started off producing my own. I started off producing my own podcast. I didn't know nothing. I'm gonna give you that Bernie Mac line. I don't know nothing. I didn't know nothing, and I just took the time to learn and figure it out. It's like the vision when God give us something. He don't give us no instructions. He don't give us any instruction. He just give us the vision, but then we learn along the way. So I've learned quite a lot since podcasting. I've always been an avid researcher. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, well, what happened if I do this with the podcast? Or what if I happen to do that with and I'm always finding out new things about podcasting. And so that's where I started at with my own podcast. And I love, helping others who have podcasts that do what we do. And if I can help them, that's another part of the assignment is you see somebody struggling, help them, reach out to them. Do you need some help, what you need help with, what I'm always that type person where I've learned how to lean into being the person. I've had to learn how to trust what God has given me to say and do, because in the past I was all willy nilly on the beach, didn't, want to listen to nothing God was talking about. But now that me and God have rekindled our relationship, I've learned how to have discernment and listen to what He has to tell me and be obedient to what He asked me to do. So, that's what led me to you. It's like, okay, even though it's for my business, even though it's giving my business more exposure,
Mm-hmm.
that's what led me to you. And I was like, okay, all right, cool, and you never know, God opened that door. God opened the door for you, and before you know it, you have become friends with somebody new, and you have a tight relationship with, and you can, y'all sit down and talk and have communication, and getting to know somebody new, and then you networking. Okay, try to network. Okay, well, you know, that's what I like about being open and being leaning into what God asked me to do, because I always meet new people, and you had that rapport with someone. You turn around and you can lead them, say, look, okay, I see somebody over here that want to come on your show. Okay, I'm gonna send them to you. I do that kind of networking.
I like that. I like that because that's me. Like if I'm seeing something that one of my friends is doing, and I see another friend needing something like that,
Mm-hmm.
yo, I'm gonna send them to my friend before I send them to anywhere else.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I can be honestly say, when I first got started podcasting,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know anything about podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was a vision that God had given me.
Yes.
And I want to give a shout out to a young lady that really helped me when I first got started, and that is Miss Andrea Perry. That woman opened up her Zoom to me, allowed me to use her Zoom for free for about a year.
Yeah.
And then after that year, she's like, all right, it's time for you to step out on your own. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm comfortable just being back here. She's like, no,
Uh-huh.
God has told me it's time for you to step out on your own and be obedient. So
Yes.
I stepped out on my own, and this is where we are now. And I wouldn't trade nothing for it now. It was a learning experience. I'm not gonna lie, but I thank God for everything that I learned while I was doing it
Mm-hmm.
because it set me up to be where I am now.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
yeah. So my next question to you is, how did you get started writing? Because I know you're an author. So how did you get started writing?
Okay. So I started writing because I had three major deaths in my family.
Mm,
And my grandmother and my mother at the same time, she raised me from a baby. And when
mm,
she passed, that kind of set me on a different path. It set me on a different path as a person. And when she passed away, she had a heart attack, and I had to take care of her. They put her on hospice, and then I had to take care of her for the 2 weeks she was living until she passed. And during that time, taking care of her, I learned how to take care of her. Called my cousin. All right, certified nurse assistant. All right, learning the tricks of the trade. Then I became a certified nurse assistant. Went to class, went to school, got my certificate, passed the board, all that. Then maybe like 3 years later, my father passed. My father passed like 2 weeks before my birthday, July the 14th of 2014. Okay. So that was another okay, then I kept asking the Lord, said, what are you trying to tell me? That's two. You know how I go when they say, all right, when one,
three.
you get them threes. So then my mother was the third person to pass on me 6 months after my father passed.
Mm,
And when my mother passed, I went to her funeral. She lived in Detroit, Michigan. I went up there and I came back here to Uniontown. And when I came back here, I was sitting in my mother's funeral, and I heard a voice speak to me. It says, "Now it's time for you to write your book." I'm sitting there looking around like, like, okay, and I kind of, brushed it off a little bit. Then my brother was standing at the podium talking. And I heard the voice say that again. Says, "It's time you write your book." And I'm sitting there like, for real, Lord. And my sister was sitting beside. She said, "You all right? You okay? You know what you say?" And I was like, "Nothing, nothing, nothing."
it's like I don't want to talk about it right now. Nothing,
so,
nothing, nothing.
so here, the voice said it again. "It's time for you to write your book." And I said, "Okay, Lord, whatever you want." So when I kind of come back from my mom's funeral in Uniontown, Pennsylvania, I'm here with my husband. And the next day I started writing that book. I started writing this book here. The book is entitled Coming and Loving Yourself.
Mm,
And it's an autobiography, inspirational book. It's about my life. And I'm going, I got real. I got real in that book. I told everything in that book. I didn't hide nothing in that book. And and so that's how I got started, that's how I became an author. And I self-published the book myself. And I came out of pocket for everything I had to come and do for that book. And then maybe like 2 years, like I say, okay, that this book was published in 2017. And then 2022, right before 2023 came in, I published the workbook that go with it. So I published my workbook that go with it. This coincides with the autobiography. It's a workbook, and it's the workbook was created to help you get back to the things that you love and cherish in your life. And I also do counseling with my workbook. And it's just that writing those books have opened a door that I didn't see. God knew, but I didn't know. So he, like I said, he knew me before I was in my mother's womb. So
Yeah.
he knew me before I knew myself
Yeah.
with that book, with those
So
books.
so it was you kind of was like Joseph, where you went through all of these situations, you went through all of these trials, you went through all these tribulations, but then
Hmm.
when you came out of it, you was able to help somebody else, and you was able to look at those that you was able to help, and you was able to look at the devil white in his face and say, "You meant it for bad,
Yeah.
but God meant it for good."
Yes. 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 Yes.
So I
So.
totally understand that.
Hmm.
All right. So next question that we got for you on tonight is on this morning is what's next for you? What do you have up next?
Okay. So next is I am I am being led by God. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a streaming channel at one time, and that did not work out. But God says there's a learning lesson. Take everything you learn from that
Come
experience
on.
and turn around, and it's something big around the corner. So instead of me having that one channel, I want to own my own network. See, that's where my mind went. My mind went bigger
I like that. I like that.
when it comes to God. It's all right. You got to think out the box. You got to think bigger. God is God is infinite. You know, and when He give you idea, He might start you off small, but He is preparing you for the bigger picture. He's preparing you for the bigger picture. So that is what I'm composing, putting together, and things of that nature. And that's what I have. And then I want to start working. I want to also get started with. I want to get started with a segment. Where I want to help other authors publish their books. I have one client right now, but God said you got to be bigger than that too. With that one client, you got to be bigger.
I
You
like
got too
that.
much up here. You got too much knowledge up here not to help somebody else because you already published 2 books. And so that's what I'm working now. I'm working on that too. I'm a multitasker. I work on some one day and put that down. Work on something else next day, put that down. And right now, I'm involved in an anthology book. It's called Resilient Black Women, Stand Up Volume 3. And the lead writer, the lady that put us all together, brought us all together for this anthology book. Her name is Miss Ardenae Garner, and we'll be publishing that in April, and then I also have an event in Birmingham, Alabama, coming up in April, it is called Behind the Ink. I will be traveling there for like a big vendors event, and a young lady by Kay Rashay, she is the founder of that event. So I got a lot of things lined up. I got a lot of things lined up for my business this year. That I'm taking my business to another level. It's not small. I'm not gonna play small anymore. It's time to go ahead. I had faith last year, but this year I think my faith I got to be a whole lot bigger.
Yeah.
So I'm
It's
stepping
time to
out.
put in the work this year. It's like, yeah, I get it. I
Mm-hmm.
get that. I like that. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, we about to have a little fun now. I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna give you three options. One of them you can go to dinner with. The other one gets to play you in a movie, and the other one you have to write a book about. I'm gonna give you two questions with those three options on it, and then you tell me which ones you picking for which.
Okay.
All right. So first one, your first options is Halle Berry, Hillary Clinton, and Michelle Obama.
Okay. Um, Halle Berry. Um, I would uh uh write. I mean, I write her in a movie. In a movie. Okay, I put her. I
Okay.
put her. Okay, I put her in a movie. Hillary Clinton. I write a book about her.
I like that. I like that.
And Michelle Obama. Okay, I gets to go to dinner.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
definitely, definitely,
I guess
definitely.
dinner.
Okay. All right. All right. So last one I'm gonna ask you on that is let's see. Diana Ross, Patti LaBelle, and Aretha Franklin.
Oh my goodness. Okay, you said Diana Ross.
Patti
Okay,
LaBelle and Aretha Franklin.
okay. So Diana Ross, write her in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Patti LaBelle, Patti LaBelle. I go out to dinner with her because that's my
Oh yeah.
idol.
Oh
That's my.
yeah.
I would like to meet her in person. And Aretha Franklin is the write the book.
Okay. 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 So we appreciate you coming on today and sharing with our followers about where they can, giving our followers a little bit of information and a little bit of inspiration as
Mhm.
far as you being a kingdom boss. We definitely appreciate you coming on here. So, in closing today, I want you to give my followers a little bit of where they can find you at. That way, they can get in contact with you.
Okay. Well, my name is Sharice Johnson Moore, and I can be reached at ShariceNJohnsonMoore.com. That's my website. You can reach me on Facebook, on the personal page, Sharice Johnson Moore, business page, Sharice Johnson Moore, the Facebook business page, LLC. Instagram, SNJ Moore 5289. Uh, Twitter, Sharice J Moore. Well, yeah, Sharice J Moore. Let's see. Oh my goodness, I got so many handles. It's ridiculous. So Twitter, you can find me on Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, fan base, and
Right.
YouTube. Okay.
So you everywhere, basically.
I'm
You everywhere. I
I'm
like that. I
everywhere.
like that. I like
Everywhere.
that.
Yes.
All right. So definitely follow us. Let's link in with her and let's stay connected with her. And we thank you again for sharing with us on this morning. And as I always say as we close out, sometimes our disappointments are nothing more than God's appointments, meaning some things that we look at as bad, God is only turning it around for our good. Stay blessed, and be a blessing to someone else. We will see y'all next week. Peace.